Every year in the United States, more than 3 million adults over the age of 65 end up in the emergency room because of a fall. And most of those falls? They happen right at home, in the same living rooms, bathrooms, and kitchens where we feel safest. That number is not meant to scare you, but it should make us pause. Because the truth is, the homes we've lived in for years, the ones filled with love, memories, and familiar routines, don't always grow with us as we age. What once felt comfortable and just right at 40 or 50 may not support us the same way at 65, 70, or beyond. This video is not about blame. It's about awareness and action. We're going to look at 7 everyday habits that make a home feel cozy, but could quietly be putting you at risk. Some of them might surprise you. Others may sound familiar. But each one carries a consequence, often small at first, until the wrong step, wrong time, or wrong combination turns comfort into injury. More importantly, we'll go through practical solutions, simple changes that can help you stay safe without giving up the feeling of home. So if you've ever said, "I'm fine, I've always done it this way," this might be the gentle nudge to take another look. Let's walk through this together, not with fear, but with clarity and care. Habit 1. Holding on to throw rugs for comfort while ignoring the risk beneath. There's something undeniably homey about a rug. It softens a room, it warms your feet, it gives a space that lived-in feeling, like someone truly belongs there. And for many older adults, rugs are more than just decor. They're sentimental. That Persian rug in the hallway? It's been in the family for decades. The braided mat by the kitchen sink? Your daughter picked it out for you on Mother's Day. But here's the hard truth. Those same rugs, as cozy and familiar as they may be, are among the most common tripping hazards inside American homes. In fact, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, over 1 million fall-related injuries each year are linked to household obstacles, and loose or unsecured throw rugs are consistently at the top of the list. That gentle curl at the corner, the rug that slides just slightly when you step on it, or the thick carpet edge that catches the toe of your shoe. They all seem harmless until one misstep changes everything. It's the quiet contrast between comfort and consequence. You add a rug to feel warmer, but it may leave your bones colder recovering from a fall. You keep it because it reminds you of good times. But one accident can bring months of immobility, rehab, and even loss of independence. So, what's the solution? It's not necessarily about removing every rug in the house, unless that feels right for you. It's about being intentional. Ask yourself, is this rug secured to the floor? Does it lie completely flat with no edges lifting or curling? Can I walk across it confidently, even in socks or slippers? If the answer is no, consider using rug grippers or non-slip pads underneath. Better yet, swap out slippery rugs for rubber-backed mats in key areas like the kitchen, bathroom, and entryways. These are widely available at stores like Target, Walmart, or online, and many are under $20. Think of it this way. You're not giving up comfort. You're redefining it. Because true comfort, at this stage in life, isn't just how something feels under your feet. It's the peace of mind that comes from knowing your home isn't working against you, and that's a trade worth making. Habit 2. Low lighting that feels cozy, but leaves you one step away from disaster. It's 2 in the morning. You wake up feeling thirsty. The room is dim, just the way you like it. No glaring bulbs, no harsh light hurting your sleepy eyes. You slowly swing your legs over the bed, feel your way down the hallway, past your favorite armchair, and toward the kitchen. And then, you catch the edge of the doorway. Or worse, miss a step entirely. This quiet scene plays out in millions of homes every night. Why? Because we associate dim lighting with comfort. Soft lamps, mood lighting, that warm amber glow. It feels peaceful, gentle, safe even. But in truth, poor lighting is one of the top contributors to nighttime falls among seniors. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission reports that falls in the home increase sharply in low-light conditions, especially for adults over 65. Depth perception changes with age. Glare sensitivity increases. Night vision declines. Yet most of us never update our lighting to reflect those changes. We're still walking hallways lit for younger eyes, not wiser ones. This doesn't mean your home has to look like a hospital or a warehouse. You don't need fluorescent tubes buzzing overhead or harsh white LEDs in every room. What you need is strategic light, the kind that supports your movement, especially at night. Start with motion-activated night lights in the hallway, bathroom, and bedroom. Under cabinet lighting in the kitchen, so you can see clearly without waking the whole house. Lamp timers that turn on as the sun sets, especially during winter months when darkness comes early. Products like these are widely available, affordable, and simple to install. A 6-pack of plug-in motion lights costs less than $25 and could mean the difference between reaching the fridge safely and falling en route. Think of good lighting not as an intrusion on coziness, but as an extension of it. Because there's nothing more comforting than knowing you can move through your home with confidence, even in the quietest hours of the night. Habit 3. Wearing slippery socks or soft slippers indoors, when what you really need is grip. It always starts small. A chilly morning, a hardwood floor. You reach for that cozy pair of socks your daughter gave you last Christmas. The thick, fuzzy ones with the snowflakes? Or maybe it's those soft slippers you keep by the bed, the ones you've worn every day for years. You slide them on without a second thought, just like always. Why wouldn't you? They're familiar, comfortable, harmless. And that's where the danger lies. Because when we talk about falling at home, one of the leading causes of serious injury among older Americans, we often imagine big hazards, broken steps, wet tile, cluttered hallways. Rarely do we think the culprit might be what we're wearing on our feet. But here's what the data says. According to the National Institute on Aging, over 30% of falls in older adults happen indoors, and inappropriate footwear is a major contributor. Socks, even the coziest kind, offer zero traction on smooth surfaces. Backless slippers or soft, unsupported soles? They can bend, fold, or slide without warning. The real risk isn't that these things feel dangerous. It's that they don't. This is where the psychological journey begins. We build habits around comfort, around ease, around what has always worked. You may think, I've never fallen in these before. And that's true, until it isn't. Balance changes slowly with age. So does muscle strength, reaction time, and depth perception. By the time we notice the difference, it's often because something has already gone wrong. Here's what that fall might cost you. A fractured hip, a 3-month recovery in a rehabilitation center, the loss of confidence to walk without help, the shrinking of your world to 1 or 2 rooms, just because you slipped going to the kitchen. That's not an exaggeration. That's real life for many older adults. But it doesn't have to be your story. You don't have to give up warmth or comfort. You just have to upgrade what those words mean. Try this instead. Non-slip socks with rubberized grips on the soles. They look like regular socks, but provide traction on wood, tile, and laminate. Supportive house shoes with firm soles, closed backs, and soft insoles. These shoes are made for indoor use and are easy to slip on and off, but won't slip off your feet while walking. Avoid open-back slippers, flat-bottom socks, or soft shoes with no structure. Brands like Dr. Scholl's, Orthofeet, and Acorn make excellent indoor footwear options, and you can find them at places like Walgreens, Amazon, or your local shoe store. Start small. Swap one pair this week. Wear it for a few hours a day. Notice how much more confident you feel just walking down the hall. Because comfort shouldn't come at the cost of your balance, and you deserve to walk through your home and your life with steady, secure steps. Habit 4. Arranging furniture for comfort, not for movement, when familiar layouts create hidden obstacles. I remember visiting my Uncle Ray a few years ago, shortly after he'd had a small fall. Nothing serious, thankfully, just a bruise and a scare. But what stuck with me wasn't the accident itself. It was what he said afterward, with a kind of quiet frustration. I've had this coffee table in the same spot for 30 years, and suddenly I'm bumping into it like I've never lived here before. That sentence haunted me, because he wasn't clumsy, he wasn't careless, he was just aging. Gracefully, stubbornly, but aging nonetheless. And his home, as cozy and familiar as it was, hadn't changed at all to meet his changing needs. This is a truth many of us resist. We love the way our homes are set up. We know where everything is. That chair in the corner, the magazine rack by the recliner, the little table by the hallway. They've all been part of our daily rhythm for years. Moving them feels like messing with muscle memory, like breaking a silent agreement between us and the space we trust. But as our balance shifts, as our stride shortens, and as assistive tools like canes or walkers enter the picture, those trusted layouts can become quiet traps. A once charming table leg becomes a tripping post. A narrow path between sofa and wall becomes a daily risk. The route from bedroom to bathroom at night becomes a mini obstacle course. According to the National Council on Aging, over 60% of home falls are related to environmental factors, not health conditions. In other words, it's not always your body that's failing you. Sometimes it's the room. So what can we do? Start by walking through your space as if you were seeing it for the first time. Can you walk from one end of a room to the other without squeezing through tight gaps? Do your knees or walker bump into corners or low tables? Is there enough room to turn around safely without backing into something? Try this test. Place a wide piece of painter's tape on the floor where you walk most often. If it's narrower than 32 inches, that path might need adjustment. And don't think of rearranging as losing familiarity. Think of it as reclaiming ease. The goal isn't to change your space, it's to let it evolve with you, just like Uncle Ray eventually did. A few weeks after that visit, he called me. He'd moved the coffee table 2 feet to the left. Took a while to get used to, he admitted. But now I can dance around the living room again, carefully. Isn't that what we all want? Habit 5. Using scented candles and plug-in air fresheners. When homey smells become hidden hazards. Every Sunday evening, Margaret lights her favorite candle. The scent, warm vanilla and cinnamon, fills her living room as she settles into her chair with a cup of tea. It's a ritual she's kept since her husband passed. A small comfort. A way to make the house feel less quiet. At the same time, across town, Walter plugs in 2 air fresheners in his hallway. He likes the pine scent. Reminds him of hiking trips he used to take in Oregon. It makes the space feel alive. Clean. He doesn't think much of it. Just a small plug, a nice smell, nothing more. Margaret's candle burns for 3 hours. She dozes off in her chair. The flame flickers quietly while the wax melts deeper into the glass. Walter's hallway grows heavy with fragrance by bedtime. The scent lingers in his clothes, his sheets. He breathes it in without noticing. They're not doing anything wrong. In fact, they're doing what most people do, using scent to create a sense of warmth, of life, of memory. But behind that comfort lies a different truth. According to the National Fire Protection Association, NFPA, Scented candles cause more than 7,000 residential fires in the United States each year, with older adults among the highest risk groups. Falling asleep while candles are burning is one of the most common causes. Meanwhile, studies from the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, show that many plug-in air fresheners release volatile organic compounds, VOCs, chemicals that can irritate lungs, trigger allergies, and worsen conditions like asthma and COPD, which are common in people over 60. And yet, we rarely think twice. Why? Because these habits feel harmless. They're tied to emotion, not logic. We light candles to feel closer to people we've lost. We use air fresheners to cover up loneliness or stale air. We create atmosphere to fill something deeper. But here's the shift. Atmosphere doesn't have to come with risk. There are safer ways to bring warmth and scent into your home. Flameless candles, battery-powered, flickering lights that look almost identical to the real thing. Some even come with timers or remote controls. Essential oil diffusers. When used with pure oils and moderate exposure, these can add light fragrance without synthetic chemicals. Natural ventilation. Opening windows even for 15 minutes a day refreshes air better than most store-bought sprays. Baking a small tray of cinnamon and cloves in the oven for 20 minutes can fill a home with comforting scent, naturally. The shift isn't about giving up what you love. It's about choosing versions of comfort that love you back. Margaret eventually switched to a flickering LED candle. It now sits on the same shelf, casting soft light without worry. Walter tossed the plug-ins and bought a lavender diffuser. "Smells cleaner now," he said, "and I sleep better." Because real peace, the kind you can breathe in, shouldn't come with warning labels. Habit 6. Avoiding grab bars in the bathroom. When pride stands in the way of protection. What does it mean to be independent? Is it walking without help? Living alone? Doing things the way you've always done them? Or is it something deeper? The quiet dignity of caring for yourself without fear, without shame. For many older adults, especially those who've lived full, capable lives, the idea of installing a grab bar in the bathroom feels like crossing a line. I don't need that yet. It'll make me feel old. I'm not ready to turn my home into a hospital. These are words we've heard, or maybe even said ourselves. But here's the hard truth. The bathroom doesn't care how old you feel. Wet tile, slick soap, low toilets, and slippery tubs make the bathroom the most dangerous room in the house for anyone over 60. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, more than 230,000 adults over the age of 65 are injured in bathroom-related falls every year, and over 2/3 of those falls happen while bathing, toileting, or getting in and out of the tub. So why do so many of us resist the very tools that could keep us safe? Sometimes it's pride, sometimes it's denial, but often it's because no one's ever reframed the conversation. What if a grab bar isn't a sign of weakness, but of wisdom? What if safety doesn't replace dignity, but protects it? Installing a grab bar isn't giving up your independence, it's reinforcing it. Here are a few ways to take action without giving up the look and feel of your home. Start small. Install a grab bar near the toilet or inside the shower. Modern designs are sleek, stainless steel, even stylish, not clinical. Add a shower chair. This reduces strain, especially if you sometimes feel dizzy or tired while standing. Use non-slip mats. Place them both inside and outside the tub to avoid those just a second slips. Upgrade to a comfort height toilet. It's only a couple of inches taller than standard, but makes a huge difference in reducing strain on knees and hips. Many of these changes cost less than a dinner out and can be installed in under an hour. So let me ask again, what does independence mean to you? if it means living in your own home, on your own terms, for as long as possible, then maybe that metal bar on the wall isn't an admission of aging. It's a declaration of self-respect. Habit 7. Holding on to clutter just in case, when sentimental becomes dangerous. There's a drawer in nearly every home labeled just in case. It's not written on it, of course, but we all know what it means. Inside are old phone chargers, expired coupons, screws that don't fit anything anymore, user manuals for appliances we no longer own. And that drawer is just the beginning. In homes across America, especially among older adults, clutter quietly builds itself into corners, closets, garages, and even hallways. It's rarely messy in the traditional sense. It often looks clean. But it weighs on us all the same. That second set of dishes we haven't used in a decade. The extra blankets. The stacks of papers we might need someday. The old magazines, VHS tapes, birthday cards, each carrying a flicker of memory. A reason not to toss. But clutter is more than just stuff. It's delayed decision-making. It's the physical manifestation of emotional hesitation, the fear of forgetting, the discomfort of letting go, the belief that if we part with it, we might be losing a piece of ourselves. And yet, the cost of holding on can be higher than we realize. According to the National Institute on Aging, clutter is directly tied to increased risk of household accidents, especially falls and fire hazards. When walkways narrow, when surfaces disappear under objects, when storage spills out into living space, we don't just lose room, we lose safety. A single box out of place can mean a broken hip. A stack of paper near a heater can become a fire in seconds. These aren't extreme scenarios. They're everyday realities, especially for seniors living alone. But perhaps the most overlooked consequence of clutter is emotional. A home filled with too much becomes harder to clean, harder to navigate, harder to enjoy. It creates a quiet kind of overwhelm, a feeling that the house is too much to manage, so we stop inviting people over, stop moving freely, stop seeing the space as ours. And little by little, the home that once gave us pride becomes a source of stress. But there is a way forward, and it doesn't involve throwing everything out. It starts with redefining what just in case really means. Because maybe the space to move safely is more important than a coffee maker you haven't used in 15 years. Maybe keeping only the birthday cards that truly warmed your heart is more meaningful than saving every envelope you've ever received. And maybe what you need right now matters more than what you might need someday. Start small. One drawer, one shelf, one surface you haven't seen clear in years. Take an afternoon, not a weekend. Choose 3 things to let go. Let them go not with guilt, but with gratitude. They served their time. They told their story. And now your story continues. Ask for help if you need it. Invite a grandchild to help you sort through photos. Call a friend to keep you company while you go through the hall closet. Let the process be a conversation, not a chore. Because a clear space isn't just about order. It's about energy, movement, possibility. It's about making room for what matters most right now. Your freedom, your comfort, your peace of mind. In the end, it's not about what you let go of. It's about what you finally make room for. Well, if you've made it all the way here, thank you. Really. I know this might have been a lot. Maybe some of it hit a little close to home. Maybe you're thinking, that's me. I do that. I've been doing that for years. And hey, me too. We build our habits with love, with memory, with the best intentions. But sometimes we just need someone to gently say, hey, maybe this could be safer. Maybe it's time for a little change. Not because we're broken, not because we're old, but because we're still here, still living, still growing. So if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, Don't try to fix everything. Just one thing. Pick one. Swap the rug. Add the light. Move the chair. Call your daughter and say, "I think I need a hand with the closet." And if any part of this made you pause, tell me in the comments. What stood out to you? What's one thing you might try? Not for me, not for YouTube, for you. Because your home, that sacred space, it should take care of you the way you've always taken care of it. That's all for now. Thanks for being here with me. I'll see you next time.